Prototype design pattern. This design pattern is also falling under the creational design pattern category. In case of prototype design pattern, we shall create a copy of one object keeping the performance of the system in our mind. So prototype pattern refers to creating duplicate object while keeping the performance in mind. This type of design pattern comes under the creational pattern, as this pattern provides one of the best ways to create an object. Now, what is the basic theme behind this particular design pattern? In case of prototype design pattern, involves implementing a prototype interface which tells to create a clone of the current object. So it will create a clone, that is a copy of the current object. This pattern is used when creation of object directly is costly. So for example, an object is to be created after a costly database operation. We can cache the object and return its clone on the next request and update the database as and when needed, thus reducing the database calls. So in these applications, this prototype design pattern can be used. So let us go for one practical example using a Java application and with the respective UML class diagram, that is a class diagram we'll be considering here, and for the better understanding of this prototype design pattern. So here is the demonstration for you.
Let us discuss some Java codes to describe how this prototype design pattern can get implemented. So here we are going to create one abstract class. The name of the class will be shape, and concrete classes extending this abstract class, that is the shape. And the class shape cache is defined as the next step which stores different types of shapes in one hash table and returns their clone when they will be requested. So prototype pattern demo will be our demo class, and where we will be having our main function, and we will use the shape cache class to get a shape object, passing the respective key value, and then the respective shape object will be obtained. So to do this implementation, we are going through some steps. Step 1, create an abstract class implementing clonable interface, and the name of the class will be shape.java. So let us go for that. So this is our shape.java, and here you see public abstract class shape implements clonable. So this particular class is abstract type, name of the class is shape and implements clonable. The java.lang.object class contains a method, that is a clone method, that returns a bitwise copy of the current object. It particular only instances of classes that implement the clonable interface, and they can only be cloned. So this bitwise copy of the current object can be obtained through this clone method if the class implements the clonable interface. Trying to clone an object that does not implement the clonable interface throws one exception, and the exception name is clone not supported exception. So if I want to use the method clone onto a particular class object which is not implementing clonable interface, then clone not supported exception will be thrown. So here we are having this public abstract class shape implements clonable. We are having the member variables like your string id, string type. We are having one abstract method, that is the draw, and that's why the class is also abstract. We are having one method, that is a get type, which returns the type. We are having the get id, which returns the id, and we are having the set id, where one string object will be passed as input parameter, and that will initialize the id here. So this id will get initialized by the method set id. We are having one object called the clone. So object clone is equal to null, clone is equal to super.clone, and catch clone not supported exception. So if the class does not implement this clonable interface, then this exception will be caught here, and then it returns the clone. So there is a public object clone here. So this is the respective object which will be returned by this clone method. This clone method is there under this clonable interface. So now let us go for its next step. So let us go for the step number 2. Create concrete classes extending the above class, that is the shape.java, and the concrete classes will have the name, that is the rectangle.java, square.java, and circle.java. So here we are having the rectangle.java which extends the shape abstract class, and here you see this. So shape is nothing but one abstract class which is containing one abstract method. the name of this method is our draw. So there is an abstract method draw here which returns void. So this rectangle, so it is the constructor type is equal to rectangle. So I'm initializing this type with the string rectangle, and it is overwriting the method draw, and it is printing this respective string. Similarly, we have defined the another class, that is the square, which extends the abstract class shape, and this is the respective code in front of you. We are defining another class, that is the circle, which is extending the abstract class shape, and the code is in front of you. So now let us go for create a class to create concrete classes from database and store them in a hash table. We know that in case of hash table, it is containing key value pair. So key values will be unique, and against each and every key one value will be associated, and the name of the class will be shapecache.java. So we are going for this shapecache.java. So here you can find, so here we are having one hash table object, that is the shape map, and it is having two things. So the first key will be of the type of string, and the second one will be the value will be of the type of shape class object. So this is the respective constructor we have called to instantiate this shape map. So that is now we are having the method, that is the get shape. We are having the method called the load cache. In case of get shape, we are taking the string, that is the shape ID, as input argument, and then from this shape map, there is the hash table. This is the hash table object here, which is from the get method. Using the get method, passing this shape ID as input argument, I'm getting this shape object as a return, and this shape will be returned at the end. There is a cached shape dot clone. So the respective bitwise copy of that object will be returned, and we are doing the typecasting as shape because this particular method get shape returns the shape class object. Okay, so now this shape is nothing but one abstract class. We defined that one earlier also. Okay, next we're going for the next method, that is the load cache. So for each shape, run database query and create shape. There is a shape map dot put shape key, comma, we're having the respective shape object. For example, we can adding three shapes here. So load cache we're having, so circle is equal to new circle. So we are defining one circle class object, and circle dot set id is equal to 1. We are making this id as 1. Shape map dot put, here we are having this circle dot get id, so that is our 1 here, and then we are passing this circle object as the second argument to this put method. So you can easily go to the circle. You can find that here it is the type is equal to circle, and it is having the draw method, which is implementing this abstract class shape here. So the shape is having the string id. So that's why whenever we are defining this this circle class, which is extending shape, so as a result of that, this id is also becoming available from the circle class here. So that's why we are writing this one as circle dot set id 1. So this 1 will be assigned to the id because the code was written in the shape, because we are having this shape id. So whatever the value will be passed, and that will be assigned to this, that is the instance variable, that is the id here. So that method we have used here in case of shape cache. Similarly, we are defining one square object, square class object, and then we are making this square dot set id 2, and then shape map dot put. We are passing this one as square dot get id, and we are having this square, there is the object we are writing. So this is the id, there is a key and the value pair. Similarly, we are keeping this rectangle object in the respective hash table object, that is the shape map. So now we are going for the last one. So there is a step number 4, prototype pattern demo uses shape cache class to get clones of shape stored in a hash table, that is a prototype pattern demo dot java here. So now we are going for this prototype pattern demo dot java. So here we are doing this one, that is a shape cache dot load cache. So that particular method has been called. So 3 class objects with the respective distinct IDs will get mapped onto this hash table object, that is a shape map. So now we are going for the retrieval. So we are going for this shape map dot get shape. So we are passing 1. So we are passing 1. So with the 1 ID, this circle class object was included in the shape map, was added with the shape map. So that's why this 1 we are passing as input parameter. So from there it is returning the circle class object, doing the typecasting. So it is a shape. We are writing this one as shape dot cloned shape. So here we are writing the get type. So whenever we are writing this get type, it is returning. You can easily find that in case of circle, the type is assigned as circle, and this get type is there. So get type is here, so it is returning the type. So that's why whenever I'm using this get type, it will print the respective string circle here. So shape colon circle. So similarly, we are going for this get shape 2, we are going for this get shape 3. So in case of get shape 2, we are getting this, that is the square. In case of get shape 3, we are getting this rectangle here. So in this way, my code is producing the required outputs, and from here I think you are getting this idea how this prototype design pattern can be implemented. So this is the respective class diagram you are finding here. So there is a shape cache we are having. So this is a shape is one of the abstract classes. So it is having the extended class. There is a square, circle, and the rectangle. The shape cache can contain all these shape map objects. So shape map is nothing but one hash table object, and it can contain different shape class objects, and it may be ranging from 0 to many. And this is the prototype pattern demo, which is having the prototype pattern demo constructor. Under the public section, we're having the method. There is a static method main here. So in this way, we have shown you that how this prototype design pattern can get implemented using Java. Thanks for watching this video.